finally, we may have a shot at Social Security reform. As we're hearing, this is the year 2023 that Social Security could completely change for the better. Although one senator is saying that he's an optimistic person and he is not optimistic about the changes that could be happening to Social Security. As we've heard throughout the entire year, big changes are going to happen, big increases, everything's going to change for the better for Social Security, but yet at this point, summer of 2023, we've seen almost no action, with Congress taking their leave for the summer for August recess, and nothing has been done. Meanwhile, everyone in Social Security has been left a bunch of empty promises, and nothing has been done yet. And speaking of empty promises, if we look here at President Biden saying we should also increase monthly Social Security checks by $200 per month, as proposed by Senator Wyden and colleagues, seniors and people with disabilities are uniquely at risk right now. Are they still uniquely at risk? Because this message was sent out from the president 3 years ago, actually before he was the president, when he was in support of an additional $200 more per month for Social Security recipients, as you can see right here in this message. Now, when it comes to actual reform, if we look here, finally, we have a true shot at bipartisan Social Security reform. But what is this actual shot at Social Security reform? What does it look like? Where could we stand and where we're all happy and we're saying, hey, this is finally the change that we wanted for Social Security? Well, Senator Bill Cassidy thinks that he has a plan, which he said he's had for a few months now. Also, another senator who's had a lot of talk among all the other senators saying that there's going to be changes, but yet no action has been taken. I'm going to play the video clip of what Senator Bill Cassidy recently said about Social Security. So if you're on SSI SSDI, you don't want to miss what Senator Bill Cassidy has to say about Social Security reform, as it could affect your Social Security check. So I'll give you the clip of what he says in a moment.
What you call your big idea, which is really interesting, to sort of create this investment fund to supplement the existing Social Security system. And can you just sort of explain what that's all about and how you sort of respond to any critics of this idea?
But first, before I dive into the main content, if you appreciate these regular Social Security updates, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you know the latest news of anything coming out related to Social Security, increases, decreases, latest proposals. Subscribe to the channel for that. So when it comes to Social Security reform, as I showed you before, this message from President Biden, which I like to share a lot because President Biden did say the $200 more per month, but yet nowhere to be seen now that he's president. Now that we have re-elections coming up, we may start to see $200 per month increase, or at least the proposals for it. But when it comes to an actual Social Security change, a reform, which is what we've heard, finally we have a true shot at bipartisan Social Security reform, saying that there could be a big change to the 67 million people who are on Social Security. But what is this big change? Well, take a look at what Senator Bill Cassidy has to say about it.
No optimism whatsoever. And I'm a pretty optimistic person, so I say that with kind of, but let's put it in context. The reason I initially had optimism, the actuaries predict that the program will go, the trust fund insolvent within 8 to 9 years. At that point, a beneficiary who's currently relying upon Social Security to pay her bills will see a 24% cut. With that, we put together a program that not only addresses the cut without raising taxes on seniors, without increasing the age of eligibility for seniors, put together a program which actually addressed the insolvency, but also addressed other issues as well. We had Republicans and Democrats, but we don't have a presidential candidate or a president who's willing to take it on.
Can you just sort of flesh out for us your idea? You have this, what you call your big idea, which is really interesting, to sort of create this investment fund to supplement the existing Social Security system. And can you just sort of explain what that's all about and how you sort of respond to any critics of this idea?
Gary, you put it so well. We would set up a fund, 1.5 trillion funding over 5 years. And we would allow that to be invested, no money from the Social Security Trust Fund, none of that, but it would be separate dollars. And we would hold that in an escrow account and just allow a return upon the return. whatever dividends that would return would go back into the fund. And over 70 years, it would grow. And as it grows, the rule of 12, towards the end, it's doubling. And it ends up growing enough that it takes care of 75% of the unfunded accrued liability within the Social Security program.
So it's not privatizing it, right? Is it?
Well, no, but different from previous proposals.
Okay.
George W. Bush created individual accounts for beneficiaries. We don't do that. We continue to pay scheduled benefits per the current schedule. All the risk is borne by the fund. And so a year-to-year fluctuation, of course, is going to occur, but it does not imperil the benefits that someone is currently receiving. But we do know over that long of a time frame, if history is any guide, that you're going to see a certain increase, and that increase, again, by conservative projections, will offset up to 75% of the unfunded accrued liability.
You know, and a second idea, is there any way around this notion of increasing payroll taxes as part of a comprehensive Social Security deal? Would you support a plan that included that in any way?
If by increasing the payroll tax, you mean increasing the rate, no, we do not have that as part of our plan. With a very small caveat, but that is not what we're doing with ours. We're not increasing the rate. What President Biden has proposed is increasing, applying payroll taxes to everybody making over $400,000. Now, the only problem with that, he's proposed it for multiple other programs already, to a tune of about $4.5 trillion. And now he wants to add an additional amount on top of that $4.5 trillion he's already applied it to. Additionally, under President Biden's plan, he does not index that 400,000, which means over roughly 15 years or 20 years, everybody will be making over $400,000, or at least everybody's income will be taxed, even if it is currently less than 400,000. I think you follow what I'm saying.
I do, yeah.
So we're different from the president's plan in we don't increase the rate, and we don't apply it only to people who make over 400K.
Okay, thank you. Now, some other possible smaller efforts that people might be able to see sooner, and one is around giving people more information about when to first claim Social Security. And I know this is something you've co-sponsored. Can you elaborate on that a little bit and where we might see that headed?
Yeah, so there is you can right now take early retirement age age 62. If you know you're about to die of cancer and you've got 3 years in which the doctor tells you you're probably going to die, take your benefit age 62. But for most people, it's wiser to wait until age 70, because over the course of a normal lifespan, you'll receive more money if you wait until age 70. We are trying to help people understand that and putting out information that would educate the beneficiary. It is wiser to wait in a variety of ways, but it is wiser to wait. And that's what we're trying to help people understand.
And what are the chances that these efforts could wind their way through Congress, in the coming months? And what chances do they have?
I don't think that our big idea will become law until we have a new president. Both Biden and Trump have the same plan for Social Security, which is a plan to do nothing, which therefore is a plan that beneficiaries will get a 24% cut. But I think once the political season is over, I'm hoping that sanity returns and folks will say we cannot allow people to get a 24% cut. By the way, Carrie, if that occurs, poverty among the elderly will double. Now that's remarkable. Poverty among the elderly doubles if this occurs. We have to stop it. And I think that kind of demand will make people amenable to our proposal. It's not a free lunch, but it is something which I think will benefit all.
And two more quick questions. The next one, any hope for any real debate on Social Security in the 2024 campaign?
I don't think so. We had 14 senators. It was public. We had 14 senators, 7 and 7 Republican Democrat. We have briefed the White House. The White House has said that, yes, indeed, we briefed them. But when President Biden came out of the State of the Union speech, And he did not speak about the bipartisan plan, which had bipartisan support in the House and the Senate. Instead, he focused on one Republican senator's plan, a plan that that particular Republican senator had walked back from. It became very clear after that. He was running for re-election, and he was running for re-election on Social Security, attacking Republicans, and everything fell apart. Because, by the way, you need a president to sign a bill into law. I'm very disappointed that Biden did that. It destroyed an opportunity that was there, and it makes it more likely that one day somebody's going to get a 24% cut, or if we try and borrow our way out of it, that we borrow our country into indebtedness like you've never seen before.
And finally, just a newsy kind of thing, what's your reaction to President Biden's intent to nominate former Maryland Governor Martin O'Malley to Commissioner of the Social Security Administration?
I've not had a chance to evaluate it, but if anyone's nominated who refuses to acknowledge that if we don't do anything, that there'll be a 24% cut, and simultaneously admits that adding more taxes on those who make over $400,000, when the president has already proposed $4.5 trillion of extra taxes on those folks, is not a real plan. That is something which is a fig leaf. And so I look forward to speaking to Mr. O'Malley. I'm hoping that it'll be more intellectually honest.
What are your thoughts? Do you agree, disagree with what Senator Bill Cassidy has to say about Social Security? Let me know down in the comments below. And that is all the news that I have for you today to hopefully brighten your day a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, it's Bella tip of the day. I want to tell you the one thing that you should do. Do the things that scare you the most, because after you do that, you become a better person. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching. Speaking of Congress members in Congress talking about Social Security, if you want to hear the fiery speech from John Larson, you don't want to miss what he says there, definitely take a click at this video link right up here, and you could see what he said recently on Congress floor. So click that link now, and I'll see you in that video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.